I'm Jenny Stanley, Managing Director of Appetite Creative. Joined with me, Rachel Sheldon, Market Development Manager for Greiner Packaging. And we're looking at a new way to look at packaging. So what is it? What is connected packaging? What is it that we want to be able to do? And we really want to be able to harness the potential of your packaging. Your packaging can be your strongest marketing asset and really a media channel in itself. And we really want to explain to you how you can achieve that. The best thing about connected and digital or smart packaging is that you're not limited by size or shape. And I'm sure we've all had the challenge of being able to get the right messaging into the small amount of space that we have on our physical packaging. The great thing with digital is we're not confined by any particular shape or size, or indeed any particular type of experience can be included. So what can we do with that? We can really help to drive awareness, to engage our consumers and to educate. It might be around a new flavour, it might be around a new product launch, it might be that we want to actually educate the consumers around a new sustainability campaign or a new awareness that we want to bring and educate our audience, and of course engagement. We also want to be able to drive sales, and we want to be able to obviously collect first-party analytics and get closer to our consumer. And how do we do that? Through QR codes. And what we can see is that the QR code usage has actually had a massive rebirth thanks to COVID. In fact, it's almost 100% increase over the last year. And you've probably seen that yourself going into restaurants and bars now. You can see that there is a QR code that you simply need to open your phone camera, hover over and scan. There's no need anymore to download apps, to download anything at all. Simply, users have the ability to open their camera and scan the QR code. So with this rebirth, what we're able to see is obviously a massive increase in being able to use QR codes. And what we can see over the next few years is actually that the global connected packaging is going to be worth more than $32 billion by 2027. So that's a huge, interesting increase. And also, if you look at a recent study which looked at the last time that any users shared a QR code, you will see that actually over 40% of people in the last week had shared a QR. Here you can see obviously those charts. So the ability to scan that code, 40% over in the last week. We can also see the type of first-party data that brands are able to see. So not only are we able to share and open a gateway to a new world, but all of that interaction is then tracked in a real-time dashboard. And we're able to tell brands how many people scanned, how long they spent within the experience itself. We're able to also track things within the experience. So you might be asking market research type questions. Would you like to see a strawberry or an avocado flavour next? What do you think about this particular sustainability campaign? Did you know that we have a 60% less sugar? And obviously push people to that different SKU. The interesting thing is that, of course, we're able to track all of that in real time, which means you have the ability to get much closer to your consumer and the ability to learn much more about what they want, what they like, and therefore, of course, reposition your marketing and your messaging to be able to get on point to what you want to communicate to your consumer. So we can see the average time is around 3 minutes to 2 minutes 46 seconds, so a fantastic engagement time, and also registration rate. So you're able not only to understand what your users and consumers like, but you're also able to collect in a GDPR compliant way their names and email addresses. And so the ability to then actually reconnect with your consumer and understand what they like means that you can have that much more personalized one-to-one conversation, which of course most brands in the FMCG world in particular don't at the moment have. In addition to that, we can run competitions, you can have sampling, you can be looking at vouchers, you can be looking at lots of different ways to actually drive consumers across your range and then able to enhance sales as well. And our platform will help you in terms of choosing winners, in terms of storing GDPR compliant data, and also Unlike many other things, this is real time. So if you're looking at market research studies, for example, you're not able to see those results normally for about 6 months after the campaign has run. So again, this is a great way to be able to understand in real time what consumers like and what consumers don't like. And if we go to the next slide, we can also have a little look at how we've been able to do this with lots of different brands. So this is Tetra Pak. With those guys, we've been helping them with their sustainability messaging. This is something that we've been running now over the last 4 years with them. The idea is to educate consumers around recycling, educate consumers in terms of what Tetra Pak are doing in terms of sustainability and their sustainability goals. And in this particular campaign, users have the ability to choose between a kids and an adult quiz and learn lots of different things around where their packaging gets recycled, how many rolls of toilet paper each particular carton or packet ends up, etc. And then your ability to plant and grow your own tree. So a really fantastic way for Tetra Pak to be able to communicate around their packaging and sustainability goals. So what do we look at when we think about the user journey of our consumers? Basically, the user scans the QR code on the package and they are faced with a welcome page where they can either register or choose from a menu of different games or experiences to play. Within that, they may have a scoreboard, they may collect points. Points could be then exchanged for prizes, or they might just be entered into a prize draw for taking part. We also have the ability to unlock further content. So for taking part, we can reward people. We can also unlock particular games or secret videos or unseen before footage. After doing that, the option is to play again or to share that video, to share your score, to share that selfie, and of course then drive further engagement and drive further awareness. And then they are entered into a prize draw in which they may win something. That is the standard user journey. Here's a little look at some of the selfies. If you want to scan the QR code, you can have a look at yourself. The idea is that we run lots of filters similar to Snapchat, and you have the ability to be able to see yourself with lots of different branded elements and fun areas and be able to then share that with your audience. Here we can look at what we did for Emmy. Again, fantastic average time, 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Here they were really driving awareness around their 2 brand launches. One around their reduced sugar. So we created a balance game, which was all about balance and healthy eating, of course, driving the message. And also being able to create a doodle jump game where people were able to collect different elements and to collect different points. They ran a prize draw every 2 days. Again, our platform was able to support that. And they were able to get a fantastic registration rate and be able to then follow back up with their consumers and users. This is a fantastic case study, still running at the moment. It was a back to school game. We had an AR game, which you can see on the left-hand side, where characters from the brand were able to slice and dice the different flavors of the particular brand. And on the left-hand side, or your right-hand side, depending which way round it is, you can also see a 2D game, which was a car racing game in which you were fueled by the packets of juice and milk. This was for KDD Dairy, the Q80 Danish dairy, the largest dairy in the GCC. And at the moment, as I said, it's still running, but they've got over 85,000 scans and 8,000 registrations. It's running in Kuwait and Saudi. And we're able to really compare the 2 different markets, and there they're able to see really the differences between the markets as well as the data around their audiences. So all in all, a fantastic way for them to be able to become a lot closer to their consumer while engaging them for 3 minutes. Fantastic engagement time. The bounce rate is also less than 1%. So in average, we're able to report from a recent study that actually clients, when they run their connected packaging campaigns, see an uplift of sales by 20%, and over 90% of brands that have actually engaged repeat that activity. So again, fantastic stats in terms of being able to understand how successful these campaigns are. Of course, you also have access to your branded dashboard. So with that, I hand over to Rachel to tell us a little bit more from a Greiner perspective.
Okay, thank you very much, Jenny. So connected packaging in K3, just very quickly, just to explain to you what is K3. So K3 is the registered trademark for cardboard plastic combination packaging for Greiner Packaging. And in essence, it's cardboard wrapped around a cup or a tub or a bottle. Due to the strength of the cardboard, we can dramatically reduce the amount of plastic that's used, which in turn reduces CO2 levels. It's fully recyclable. So the outer wrap is virgin board or recycled board, and the inner cup can be a variety of recyclable plastics. It's great because you can increase your print area by 100% because both sides of the board are printed. And many of the K3 packs are UK tax exempt, the new tax that's coming out in April 22. Next slide, please. So just an example of how it would work on a K3 Greiner cup. So the image on the right is a noodle cup with a promotion of PlayStation. So a small area on the base of the cup, the outer print would be given over as a call to action. So this would tell the consumer that there is a promotion and that the cardboard wrap needs to be removed after the product's been consumed. There's also be a small QR code there, so you can actually start collecting some data from consumers that aren't necessarily going to buy your pack. If they just pick it up in the supermarket, they can give it a scan, and then that's going to collect some very basic data, name, age, and address. But to fully get into the access the connected packaging experience, you need to remove the cardboard and scan the inner QR code. So all the analytic data, as Jenny said, is real time, and you can get to that on a bespoke interface, which is supported fully by Appetite Creative. And the great thing for me is you can completely tailor make this to what you want from your brand competitions, whether it be what do your consumers actually think and what do they like. You can cross brand if you've got multiple brands, one of which you want to push more, you could do it this way, vouchers. And again, it's all on the dashboard, which is GDPR compliant. Next slide, please. Right, so funding options. A connected packaging, dependent on what level of engagement you want from your consumers, start from about 10K. There's a few options on how these can be funded. Option one, which is the best one, is if you fund the connected packaging experience yourself. You've got full control then over exactly what the connected experience is going to be, and you've got full use of the analytic data. Another option is the reverse of a K3 wrap is actually, it's got a value to an advertiser. So Appetite Creative can partner up complementary sponsors to your brands, and they will cover the cost of the connected packaging experience. So there's no additional cost to your packaging spend to try out a connected packaging experience, although obviously there is an element of negotiation if you're with a partner. Option three, we're always looking to improve recycling rates, so why not partner up with Greiner Packaging and we can do a connected packaging experience together. And then option four is really, we've got other Greiner customers and that'll complement your brands, and we could look at sharing the cost of a campaign. Next. So benefits to you as a customer. Our QR codes have been around for a while and they've definitely certainly taken off since COVID, but for a packaging concept, a media concept, it is relatively new. It's definitely going to improve recycling rates, especially for K3 packaging, because it's separating the cardboard from the plastic. Again, there's an option to partner up with a promotional sponsor. Such campaigns drive sales with the competitions and giveaways, and then the analytic data from the connected packaging experience is obviously, for me, the most important part, and what you get out of a connected packaging experience.
I'm quite happy to answer any questions if there's any other. What is the average engagement rate that I can expect with these connected experiences? Well, that's a good question. Engagement time is a really good, obviously, ratio in being able to understand whether consumers like the experience itself. At the moment, we're experiencing around 2 minutes 47 plus, so just under 3 minutes in terms of engagement time. So people are spending up to 3 minutes actually engaging. And we also see a scan rate of about 1.6 per user, which means you have a large percentage of your audience scanning once and then rescanning to re-engage as well. So it's a really engaged audience that you're able to communicate with. Obviously, you wouldn't be spending money to create a 3-minute TV ad because it would be obviously much too expensive. And this is really an interactive experience, so a two-way lean-in experience rather than a linear TV ad as well. So for the audience that we've got with us, we have a poll question.
So it was, when did you last scan a QR code? So this week, this month, this year, or never?
So it's 75% of people have actually scanned a QR code this week. So again, I think that really does back up what we're talking about in terms of the fact that people are much more open to, willing to scanning QR codes. And that's just down to, I think, a change in technology, but also a change in the fact that they really are making part of our day-to-day life, you know, having to use them for so many different things. Why not use them for your marketing campaigns as well? Well, thank you so much. I think that brings us to the end of the session. If you do want to catch up with either of us, we are available. Please do. And if you do want to have a copy of the slides, then just let us know and we can send those on to you as well. Thank you so much for your time.